Go put your cigarettes out on someone else. You have consequences for your actions. That's it.
Shut up, fat ass.
Yeah, you got me there.
I think that was another grossly exaggerated moment of Miss Hurd's. I did not put a cigarette out on her or throw a cigarette at her.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Joy Limnacker in for Julie Grant today. It's day 8 now in the dueling defamation trial between ex-spouses Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Now, it resumed with more explosive and damaging audio recordings from the pair's volatile and abusive marriage. Depp is back on the stand for more cross-examination from Heard's attorneys today. Again, he is suing his ex-wife for $50 million following a Washington Post op-ed he claims ruined his reputation and Hollywood career. Well, she's countersuing him for $100 million. While we wait for court to resume once again, let's take a look back at exactly how we got here. Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter has all the details.
Pirates.
Johnny Depp, the star of such blockbuster franchises like Pirates of the Caribbean.
I'm so sorry, were you still talking?
Was one of Hollywood's highest paid actors, commanding tens of millions per film.
He's exactly what you want to be if you want to be a Hollywood A-lister.
Elizabeth Wagmeister is chief correspondent at Variety magazine.
You want to be family friendly, you want to be taken seriously by the industry, and you want to have a bit of sex appeal when it comes to your personal brand. But of course, this entire trial really changed the whole face of Johnny Depp's reputation.
The trial, Depp versus Amber Heard. This once married couple has been feuding since they split in 2016, and the drama has spilled into courts in the U.S. and overseas. Here in Fairfax, Virginia, the two square off in this courthouse. Depp is suing his ex-wife Amber Heard for defamation. He claims she damaged his reputation when she wrote about domestic abuse in this op-ed that appeared in the Washington Post in December 2018. Depp wasn't named in the article, but he claims in his lawsuit that the article implied he abused her, and as a result, he has lost movie roles and faced public scorn.
Any defamation case has a difficult road to hoe, but in this one, I think it has a particularly difficult chance of success.
George Freeman was in-house counsel at the New York Times for more than 30 years and is now executive director of the Media Law Resource Center.
The first defense really is the most basic defense in libel law, which is truth.
In order for Depp to win, he not only has to prove that the allegations are false, but that Heard acted with malice or intentionally lied about the alleged abuse.
So he really has to prove that she made it up out of whole cloth. And I think that's a stretch to ask a jury with all the evidence that exists, to ask a jury to believe that she made it up and she wasn't abused at all is a very, very hard burden to meet.
Depp has already lost a similar libel case in London. He sued The Sun for calling him a, quote, wife beater. A judge there found that the newspaper had proved the article was substantially true. But the U.S. trial will be different. A jury will decide the case, not a judge, and his appeal among fans could be a factor.
He knows that he has a large fan base, even throughout this entire legal battle. So Johnny Depp could also feel empowered by knowing that he does still have a fan base behind him.
Depp's case is unusual for another reason, according to Freeman.
Johnny Depp sued Amber Heard in this case, but not the Washington Post. Generally speaking, in 9 out of 10 cases, in a libel case, you sue the media that publishes as well as the person who's making the accusation. Yet he never sued the Washington Post in this case, which leads to the conclusion that this is really, in the end, a marital fight that has now grown into the American court system.
All right, joining us now to discuss, we want to bring in State Attorney from Palm Beach County, Florida, Dave Ehrenberg, and also forensic psychologist John DeLatorre joining us from San Antonio, Texas this morning. Thank you so much for being with us. Dave, I want to ask you, do you agree with this kind of broad assessment by the analyst we just heard from, that there's this underlying issue that because Depp didn't sue the Washington Post, that this is kind of about revenge?
It does seem like that because it doesn't seem like he has much of a chance of winning. He's not after Amber Heard's money. He wants redemption. He wants to tell his side of the story, and at least he can get the latter. I think he's at least getting a chance to tell his side of the story. Of course, when you do that, Amber Heard gets a chance to tell the world her side of the story, and they get to cross-examine Johnny Depp. But it's very hard to win a defamation case in the United States. He already lost a similar case in London, and in England, it's a lower burden for a plaintiff to win because the burden is really on the defense. So if he couldn't win over there, I don't know how he's going to win over here.
You know, so John, because now we've got a countersuit here, right? So we've got Depp suing Amber Heard for $50 million and she's suing him for $100 million. If a defamation case is in fact difficult to win here in the U.S., then it kind of cuts both ways, right? So how does it come out at the end?
I think it's going to come out as a wash, but here's the other thing is that because he's presenting all of this evidence against her, right, all of these nefarious things that she did, all of these other kinds of issues that she was partaking in, feces in the bed, like there's so much that's going on that perhaps there might be an opportunity for the jury to say, look, we're tired of hearing all of this stuff. Everything's just going to go away.
And, you know, we understand from inside the courtroom, our information there, that the jurors have returned from their mid-morning break. You see Johnny Depp there on the stand, you know, cross-examination. It's his second day now that he has faced cross-examination from the attorneys for Amber Heard, and then his redirect examination by his own attorneys will be coming up. Looks like everyone's getting seated. Let's go ahead and listen in live in court.
Good afternoon, Mr. Depp.
Hi.
Could we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1? Mr. Depp, is this the version of the op-ed that you recognize?
Yes, ma'am. That's the one.
I would move Exhibit 1, Plaintiff's Exhibit 1 into evidence and ask that it be published to the jury.
Any objection? No objection. All right, 1 in evidence and publish.
Mr. Depp, when did you see Ms. Heard's December 18th, 2018 op-ed for the first time?
It was, presented to me by one of my team, I can't remember, but it was within a day or so of it, a couple of days of it having been written, I believe.
And what was your reaction when you saw it?
Shock.
Why were you shocked?
Because at that point, it had been a good solid two or so years of this, of the accusations, of the allegations, planted firmly on my back, so something that I had to carry with me. And I just couldn't believe that it was continuing. That it was continuing in such a way that it was clear that the more bad press, the more hit pieces that came out on me, the more of these stories of Ms. Heard and her righteous chase against me. It wasn't stopping, and it's difficult to once you've chewed on it for a couple of years, it becomes pretty difficult to swallow anymore. As it was completely untrue.
How did you feel when you saw the op-ed for the first time?
Objection asked and answered just now.
My prior question was about his reaction.
All right, I'll allow it.
Hurts. Yeah, a blinding hurt. It was like somebody had hit me in the back of the head with a 2x4. And as I said, I had had no ability to speak prior to, because even if I had done an interview to try to explain myself, it turned into a hit piece. So my mouth was shut. And this was the opportunity where I thought, something's got to be done. It's just got to be done. I couldn't take it anymore.
When did you first learn that Disney was not going to recast you in the Pirates franchise?
It was probably 2 or 3 days after this op-ed appeared. One of my crew, again, I don't remember who had sent me, excuse me, had sent me a piece that was in some magazine, and Sean Bailey, who was the number 3.
Objection, hearsay.
I don't know yet. I'll overrule it at this point.
Thank you.
May I continue, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Sean Bailey, who was the third in line, I suppose, in the upper echelon of Disney, just basically said in the...
Objection, hearsay.
Your
What
Honor,
Sean Bailey said.
this is about him
It's in
learning about this.
article.
It's not for the truth.
It is the truth. She's
Maybe
asking.
you want to approach. That's part.
So now there's a sidebar underway. We want to take the opportunity to take a brief intermission here on Court TV, but we're going to bring you back into court. You're not going to miss a thing, so keep it right here on Court TV, your front row seat to justice.
I up and cry in my bedroom after I had dumped you a week prior. A week prior after you beat out of me, and then a week later you show up at my doorstep in my room saying you want to say goodbye. Okay, say goodbye.
Oh, I said it?
Yes, you did say it.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. We continue to follow Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. The dueling defamation trials underway. Now, Johnny Depp has faced cross-examination for a second day now from Amber Heard's attorneys, and then we anticipate him to face redirect examination from his own attorneys. So let's take you back right where we left off in court.
Could you please explain to the jury who Sean Bailey is? I think you were starting to.
Yes, I'll try again. Sean Bailey is the number 3, or was at the time. I don't know what his status is anymore, but at the time he was the number 3 sort of upper echelon of Disney top dogs, and Sean Bailey was quoted as saying that...
Objection, hearsay.
Mr. Depp, where was Sean Bailey quoted, without getting into what he was quoted as saying?
He was quoted in whatever the article was that that was brought to my attention.
And can you please just clarify what article you're referring to?
I don't know what journal it came from. I don't know what magazine. I don't know any of that, so I don't know who did the interview with him.
Objection, lack of foundation.
I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead.
Mr. Depp, how did you feel when you learned that you were being dropped from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise?
Well, it was the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. It was a character that Captain Jack Sparrow was a character that I had built from the ground up, and was something that I of course put a lot of as you do with all characters, but you put a lot of yourself into the character. So, and also having worked on these films with these people and having added much of myself, much of my own rewriting of the dialogue and scenes and the jokes and whatever they are, I didn't quite understand how that after that long relationship and quite a successful relationship, certainly for Disney, that they would, that suddenly I was guilty until proven innocent.
Up until the point that you learned that you were not going to be in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise any longer, what was your intention with respect to future Pirates movies?
The last thing that I knew from the I'd say there's the producer team, there's the creative team, and there were many discussions. I, in fact, had been approached to take part in writing
Objection,
Pirates
hearsay.
6.
Mr. Depp, what was your intention with respect to future Pirates movies, aside from what you'd been asked to do?
My feeling was that these characters should be able to have their proper goodbye, as it were. A franchise can only last for so long. There's a way to end a franchise like that, and I thought that the characters deserved to have their way out of to end the franchise on a very good note. I planned on continuing until it was time to stop.
Mr. Depp, last week, Mr. Rottenborn asked you about a quote where you said you wouldn't come back to the Pirates franchise for $300 million and a million alpacas. Do you remember that?
I do.
When relative to learning that you would no longer be a part of the Pirates franchise, did you make that statement?
I think long before I made the statement, there was a very deep and distinct sense of having been betrayed by the people that I had been working with, the people that I had worked hard for, the people that I had delivered a character to that they initially despised, but somehow, even I stuck to my guns with the character and it seemed to work. So,
Do you recall when specifically you made that statement about the $300 million and the 100 alpacas?
Objection, asked and answered.
Overruled. I'll allow it.
I believe I made that statement during a press conference in the San Sebastian at the San Sebastian Film Festival when I was asked about my situation.
And what year would that have been, if you can recall?
I believe it was last year or so.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 804? Mr. Depp, do you recognize this document?
As soon as my eyes go on, I hopefully will. Scaramanga Brothers, yes. Pirates, 4 and 5, yes.
What is this document?
I don't quite know. I'd have to read it to get some understanding of it.
Could we scroll through so Mr. Depp can look at the rest of this document?
Oops. Oh, there it goes. It looks, this appears to me to be some species of contract, no?
Is this a contract that you entered into?
With Disney.
Your Honor, I'd ask that Plaintiff's Exhibit 804 be moved into evidence and published.
Any objection?
I think it's outside the scope of direct or cross-examination.
I'll overrule on that objection.
Okay, and I'll reserve other objections to portions of the document, depending on what she's going to ask about. Could be hearsay.
But she's asking to put it all into evidence right now.
Well, then I would object to that at this point.
All right, you want to come forward? Let's see. Okay.
So as there's this sidebar underway, we're going to take a brief intermission. Johnny Depp now being questioned by his own attorney on a redirect examination after facing a second day of cross-examination from Amber Heard's attorneys. You're not going to miss a thing. We'll bring you all the latest right here on Court TV Live.
I'm Tanley Painter in Fairfax, Virginia for the Johnny Depp defamation case. And this is Court TV, your front row seat to justice.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. Defamation, cocaine, pirates, the makings of a Hollywood movie now unfolding inside a Fairfax County, Virginia courtroom today in the dueling defamation cases between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. The allegations of domestic abuse are far from fiction, though, as Depp has spent 4 days now telling jurors his former wife has brought forth false claims in an attempt to destroy his career. So Johnny Depp faced cross-examination for a second day now by the attorneys for Amber Heard. He is now on a redirect examination by his own attorneys. Let's take you back into court.
Mr. Depp, if I could direct your attention to Section 6 of the contract, which is on pages 8 through 10 of the document. And Mr. Depp, what does this reflect?
Sorry. It appears to be the agreement of Pirates 4 and 5, compensation and merchandise.
Mr. Depp, at this time, how many other franchise films had you been a part of?
At that time, Alice in Wonderland. Oh boy. Alice in Wonderland. I'm so pathetic when it comes to knowing what movies I've done. I'm sorry. I just, I don't watch them. I feel better not watching them. I couldn't, I mean, what was the question again?
How many
Order in the court, or I will have you removed. Understood? Thank you.
How many other franchise films had you been a part of at the time of this contract?
There was a third. There was Pirates. There was, with Warner Brothers, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and then Crimes of Grindelwald.
And how does the compensation reflected in this contract compare to that what you receive for the other franchises that you've been a part of?
Objection, Foundation.
He just established that he was a member of other franchise films at this point.
And he hasn't established a foundation that he knows how he was compensated for this.
I'll overrule the objection if you can answer.
I believe the compensation, obviously, all the pay and back end and all those things are negotiated by agents, lawyers, and this was comparatively, this is my salary on that film, and other salaries were of a similar status, I suppose.
If I could direct your attention to the 12th page of the document.
Yes. Who?
Is this your signature, Mr. Depp?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We can take this down, thank you. Mr. Depp, I recall that you testified that you don't know during a given period what movies you were working on. So my question is, who would know that?
Well, first and foremost, as my agent, or agents. I do recall a couple of the other films that I'd made after. One was initially called Richard Says Goodbye, and that was, they changed the name to The Professor, and during all of the nastiness over the past 6 years, that film went straight to pay-per-view. There was another film called Minimata that was produced. It was my company, Infinitum Nile. We had developed a film called Minimata about Eugene Smith, and the Minimata, the mercury poisoning of a very small fishing village in southern Japan. There was that one, and then there was a film called Waiting for the Barbarians with Mark Rylance and Robert Pattinson. Those were 3 films that I'd done.
Mr. Depp, during your cross-examination, Mr. Rottenborn showed you a number of text messages between you and Paul Bettany. Do you remember that?
I do.
Could you please explain to the jury what your relationship with Mr. Bettany is?
Mr. Bettany and I had, we'd met while I was making a film called The Tourist in Venice, and we were, it was an instant connection. He's born and bred in the UK and has that English sort of dry, kind of obtuse, abstract sense of humor. And that was one of the things that we connected on, is taking, even if it was a difficult or unpleasant situation, we would, do our best to deal with it with humor, as opposed to just a constant complaint or whining or anything of that nature. We dealt with it with humor, albeit sometimes as these are private texts that have been, there was a lot of, if in context, it's important to know that none of it was ever intended to be real, and the language that's used, which I am ashamed that that has to be spread on the world like peanut butter. For example, the text that is about burning Ms. Heard it's directly from Monty Python in the sketch about burning witches and then drowning the witches. This is a film that we'd all watched when we were 10, and it's just irreverent and abstract humor. That's what we were referring to in those texts.
The text message that you just referenced, other than Mr. Bettany, who else saw that text message at the time that it was sent?
No one. Of course not.
Based on your own observations, how would you describe Mr. Bettany's relationship with Ms. Heard while you and Ms. Heard were together?
Abominable.
Why was that?
Ms. Heard despised Mr. Bettany mainly because we had become such close friends, and for her he was a threat, and would take me away from her with regard to if Paul Bettany was getting the attention from me. That was a showstopper. It would cause all kinds of unpleasantries, to the point of where when we were on the island with Mr. Bettany, his wife, and his 4 children, Ms. Heard and Mr. Bettany got into some debate over lunch, and I just remember that whenever Mr. Bettany tried to make a point, she would talk over him, and then it started to get quite rude. She got mean, and she got loud, and then I believe it was his 18-year-old boy who was getting ready to go to a very bright, brilliant kid. He entered the conversation because this was something to do with what he'd studied in school, and he knew quite a lot about it, and he voiced his opinion. And Ms. Heard demeaned that young man to the point of where he burst into tears and walked away. And it was at that point that I had spoken to Ms. Heard and said, that's just unacceptable. That behavior is unacceptable. You have no right to demean that boy. You cannot always be right. You should try being wrong sometime because you might learn something. And then I asked her.
So we're listening to Johnny Depp now on a redirect examination by his own attorneys after facing cross-examination for a second day from Amber Heard's attorneys. We're going to bring you back into court. You're not going to miss a thing, so keep it right here on Court TV Live.
3200 now.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Joy Lim-Nackern in for Julie Grant this afternoon. We continue following the dueling defamation cases of Johnny Depp versus his ex-wife Amber Heard. Depp is suing Heard for a 2018 op-ed in the Washington Post, which he claims defamed him, accusing him of basically being a domestic abuser. So he is now on redirect examination by his own attorneys after facing cross-examination by Heard's attorneys for a second day. Let's go back into court.
I thought it was best that she leave the island.
Could we please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 245? And Mr. Depp, I believe this is another text message with Mr. Bettany that you were shown on your cross-examination. And directing your attention to the text message at the top of the page from May 30th, 2014. Do you recognize this text message you sent to Paul Bettany?
Yes, I do.
And could you please describe to the jury what you are conveying to Mr. Bettany in this message?
This again is, this is I suppose, an example of the way that I write and express myself. That is to say, you stretch your situation out to give him the understanding that you're drowning, essentially. So everything that I say here is, in fact, an impossibility for the human body. I would have been, well, I would have certainly at least had to be rushed to the hospital for a stomach pump. There's a line here that, if you don't mind, I say that when I say I'm done, I am admittedly to spray my rage at the one I love, for little reason as well. I'm too old to be that guy, but pills are fine. The pills that were referenced were the pills that I that I was coming off of, and they were the only thing that could give me some semblance of the same numbing effect that I searched for as a child with my mother. And saying that I was too messed up in the head was, it's kind of like if you've been told since you were a child that everything you do is wrong, and that I shouldn't have even been alive, or whatever joyous little treats that my then very sick, very ill mother brought to me. Ms. Heard was well aware of my past, my childhood, therefore was very adept at knowing exactly which buttons to push. So at this point, I mean, I felt like, well, I was that little boy again in my head, like, I guess I am incapable of doing anything right. I guess I will never be happy. I guess that this is who I am. I can't get along with this person. But it's confusion, you know. It's nothing that you can. It's nothing that anyone could sustain for any length of time. It's nothing that anyone should have to sustain for any length of time when you're being demeaned, berated, judged.
Still with us